Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we'll look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section will be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you're a cross-watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Gemini, we're going to jump in looking at overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. I also want to mention that I started posting a few general readings every week to my Instagram and TikTok accounts that will not be posted on YouTube. So if you're interested in those, that account information is below. YouTube readings will stay the same though. All right, Gemini, let's start with your side of this connection. To the person you are dealing with. Breakups and makeups. I feel like you're dealing, then romance. You're dealing with a lot of wishy-washy energy from this person. And I feel like they come on really strong with this romance energy. Like there are, you know, things that they do that make you feel special and like they really care. And then I feel like there are times where you feel kind of the opposite, almost as if they don't care about you or about the connection all that much. So I feel like, yeah, very wishy-washy, hot, cold, up, down, you know, that kind of energy here. And I think that it's been a very confusing energy for you too, because I feel like you're trying to make sense of like what this person feels and what they want. But let's look at this person's energy toward you. It's like there's very unpredictable energy here for you. All right, this person's energy toward you, Gemini. I like when the cards turn all the way around or hit the table. It feels more intentional that way. Know your worth. Confusion. Interesting. This person's energy is very all over the place. I feel like they're very reactive to their emotions, almost as if when certain things come up, they don't really take time to process. They just immediately react, which kind of puts them in this really confusing place because, and this is why what I feel like you're picking up on, is like there are times where, because they have a lot of desire for this. I feel it. But then at the same time, with this Know Your Worth card, I feel like they struggle with their own like self-worth, knowing what they're worthy of, what they're deserving of. So that hot, cold energy, it comes from this desire for the connection and then feelings of insecurity and fear of vulnerability that cause them to withdraw. So I feel like that's what you're really picking up on. And this confusion card isn't necessarily confusion about how they feel. I feel like deep down, they know they have feelings here, but when somebody struggles with insecurity or knowing their value and worth, they're going to come up with any and every reason to try to push you away, because it's easier to push people away than it is to be vulnerable and let people in. And so I think that there's a lot going on in their energy that makes them very unpredictable, but it's not anything to do with you. It's very much like it's not based on how they feel about you as much as it's based on how they feel about themselves. Truth of this connection between Gemini and this person. Unfinished business. So you both see this. Okay, love with redacted. Interesting. You both see this connection as unfinished, as if this connection has not fully reached its potential. However, I don't think either of you are really saying anything about that, or one of you isn't, which means that I feel like both people are kind of holding back feelings here. However, there's love, there is care, there's genuine feelings here. I just feel like there's just so much complication. I don't know where exactly the complication is coming from, because the feelings are mutual, the desire is mutual, so it's interesting because it's like, what's making it so complicated? So I feel like we'll dive deeper into that and figure out what's really going on here, because yeah, their energy is, it's like there's all this like fuzziness and complication and resistance and friction, but it's like there doesn't need to be. So that's what I feel is interesting. Overall theme of this, I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid either. That's not what I'm saying. But I just feel like there's, let's just see. Overall theme of this for you, Gemini. It's like this person is creating reasons to push you away almost. I am their light. This is how I feel like you feel toward them. I feel like you're trying to be, especially if you know this person struggles with receiving love. Like you know that they're, interesting, okay. That you know that they like have been through things and that they're a little bit closed off. And I feel like that's why, like, because you have, we will overcome this too. Then you have, there are regrets. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on and a lot to break down. I feel like there's a lot of understanding, Gemini, that you have toward this person. Maybe toward why they act the way that they do, why, just in general, things are unfolding the way that they are. But I also at the same time feel like this has been an incredibly unfair situation for you in some way. And I feel like there's a need to look at things a little bit differently, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on here. Let's break this down. Gemini's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with, are needing to learn the most from right now. Gemini's side of this. The Chariot in reverse. Just kind of this energy of like coming to a dead stop, coming to a halt. Empress in reverse. Oh my goodness. The Strength. It's a lot of major arcana. Page of Swords, the Two of Wands in reverse. Oh my goodness. And then King of Cups in reverse also. So you could be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but I also see this as a different message too. Okay. I feel like there are a lot of empty promises that I feel like have been made in this connection. And I feel like it's hard because for you, you see this person's heart. Like there's so much empathy and love that I feel like you have for this person that I feel like you've looked past a lot of things, or you can see why, again, kind of like what I was saying, they are the way that they are. And I feel like what you experience in this connection is, you know, things starting to improve, you know, things getting better, moving forward with them. And then something happens. Something happens that leads to like a dead halt. Maybe it's full-blown separation or a breakup. Maybe it's just an argument or a fight. But it's like, then you kind of find yourself starting all the way back over, where it's like, okay, you know, we're moving forward, and then back to the beginning. And I think that it's been this cycle with this person that you've been incredibly patient through. And I think with this Strength card, like, you are a very strong person. I feel like you can handle a lot. So there's the part of you that has really been willing to kind of go through a lot with this person, to really fight for this person in this connection, to try to, you know, be there for them, to love them, to support them. And with the Page of Swords too, like, I feel like there's a lot of really genuine authenticity coming from this. Like, I genuinely feel, Gemini, like all you want for this person is for them to be happy, to be healthy. Like, I don't feel like there are any negative intentions necessarily coming from you, but I do feel that it feels like you're pushing yourself to some sort of a limit, because with the Two of Wands in reverse, this is kind of being out of alignment. And it doesn't mean that you're not showing up in the best way that you can for the connection. I feel like you are. I don't feel like that's the problem at all. But that falling under the Empress in reverse makes me feel like there is a little bit of self-sacrifice, and like sacrificing your needs, your desires, your feelings for the sake of the connection, and trying to be there for them and make them feel happy and make them feel good and make them feel loved. And it's putting you in a position of being really drained. Because like I said, it's like something here really isn't fair for you. And I feel like this cycle in general is really taking a toll on you and your soul. So I feel like there's a need to kind of look at the cycle as a whole and see what this is trying to bring through for you. Because remember, capacity doesn't equal obligation. Just because we, you know, can handle certain things doesn't mean we're obligated to. And in addition to that, unconditional love, unconditional empathy does not equal unconditional tolerance. So, you know, I don't know. I feel like you have so much love for this person, but you're not getting that same compassion and grace and understanding and consideration in return, not just from them, but from you too. So let's dive into this a little bit more. I'm sure you have your reasons. So let's just see what we've got here. Confusion with know your worth. This person's energy toward you. Because, yeah, it's like you're constantly trying to pull them closer. And you're doing everything you can to do that, but then they're constantly pushing you away. So, and it's not all the time. I feel like sometimes they're present, but a lot of times they're distant. This person's energy toward you, Gemini. Like that noise. King of Swords in reverse. No, this is this way. No, it's not. It's in reverse. Okay, the Hierophant upright. Okay. You're very different than what this person is typically used to. the Star here, the King of Wands, so that's fire sign, energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. But then you also have air signs, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Three of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Swords. Okay. You are very different for this person, Gemini. I feel like they've never really been involved with somebody like you. And let me see, what is the Hierophant saying here? I feel like, because what I just saw peek out was the Ten of Swords, but yeah, Four of Wands in reverse. Okay. I feel like they're used to dealing with people who end up hurting them in the end. People who are selfish, or I don't know. It feels like they're not used to somebody like you. Because going back to what I said, I do feel like you have very genuine intentions in this connection. And I feel like that's hard almost for them to believe, not necessarily because of anything you've done. It's not you, but it feels like this person's a little bit jaded, almost like they've been through so many things in their life, or they've experienced certain things in their life that have made it hard for them to trust people. And it's not just affected their perception of other people, it's also affected their perception of themselves. So this person struggles to believe that they are worthy and deserving of love. And I think that what is really challenging here is you show up with, such genuine compassion and understanding and empathy and love, and immediately they feel very triggered by how a couple of things. First of all, I feel like they struggle to believe that it's real, and it's not you, okay? I feel like it's just hard for them to believe that somebody genuinely would love and care about them in the way that you do. And secondly, I feel like they don't believe that they're worthy of it. So that doesn't mean that there's not a desire here. Because with the Star, I feel like you're kind of what I see from this is like a light in their life. And I see that with I am their light. I feel like they see you as a very, like a light. But I feel like they see themselves in a very dark way. So there's a lot of there's a lot of guilt, a lot of shame there. Maybe it's very buried. Maybe they're very aware of it. Either way, I do feel like for them, it's hard for them to believe that they would ever be good enough for you. So the desire is there, and I feel like they want to experience what this connection has to offer, but then at the same time, there's a lack of healing, right? They haven't worked through these wounds that have developed certain beliefs about themselves, about love, again, very jaded, right? That keep them in this Five of Swords and Three of Wands in reverse energy, which is all about defensiveness and pushing you away and playing it very safe, essentially. Because in the past, if they've been hurt because they've let people in, part of them has learned, don't let people in because you're going to get hurt. Keep people at a distance, you won't get as hurt. It's almost like they expect disappointment. They expect people to hurt them. So I think that this person has been through so much in their life that they have so much healing to do to be able to show up for this in a way that is healthy for both of you. Because I feel like they have a desire not just for the connection, but to be somebody who is worthy of you, to experience the love that you have to give. And I feel like you see them as that. I'm not saying that I feel like you do see them as worthy of the love that you have to give, but they don't see themselves in that way. And that's what's really hard, is people can only give and receive love to the extent that they love themselves. And we can't love another person into loving themselves. Can we create a safe space for people to do the work? Absolutely. But that has to be a choice, right? You have to have, first of all, the awareness, and second of all, the willingness to really look at the patterns that you carry into relationships, the wishy-washiness and the hot and cold and the keeping people at a distance and pushing people away. You have to have the awareness to be able to look at those things and say, I am going to actively do what I can to work on this. But I feel like this person doesn't have that. It's like there's not an awareness here. In fact, with the King of Swords in reverse, it's very much the opposite. I feel like they're very closed off. They're very closed-hearted and closed-minded too. So they feel it's a very stubborn energy. It's very much like do things my way or the highway. And I think that like there's so much like that you, like I said, have to give to them. But it's almost like they won't let you. Like they won't let you love them. They won't let you, get to experience, they won't let themselves experience what it is that you have to give because they're always very on guard here. And I think that that's, maybe you already know that. Maybe you're not aware of the depth of it. But it's really, really important for you to know, Gemini, that you cannot change other people. You can't change somebody into who you want them to be, even if you know that it's the best thing for them. Because if we allow ourselves to be harmed in the pursuit of trying to love another person, at that moment, we are out of alignment with the love of ourself, which means we are not going to be mirrored or attract the love that we truly deserve. In every single relationship with everybody in our life, every single, especially our romantic relationships, are a reflection of what we believe that we deserve. And if we are in relationships with people who are not at a place where they are capable of loving us well, there's something that we're being asked to look at. And I feel like this connection in particular is bringing something to the surface to be addressed for you to heal so that you can ultimately have the love that you deserve. So with that being said, I'm going to hop on over to the extended You Have Redacted with Unfinished Business. I'm going to dive deeper into this, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So diving into the deeper truth of the connection, the purpose of it in your life, helping you understand this even further, and then ultimately providing you with guidance moving forward. So any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Gemini, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.